Hello everyone, hope you're having a wonderful day. What decides a family's future faster, saving money or saving days? Today we follow Diep and James from a quiet breakfast and a clear dipping bowl to 3 intersecting roads, where one bold 6 months could turn a shack into a working collection point. See how a small choice opens a new door for home, work, and hope. If you enjoy this story, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the next videos. Morning opens with a small kindness. Oil paper rustles, steam from fresh rice sheets lifts like a soft flag, and the vendor calls "Nee pretty." The word lands light and true. Diep smiles and tips the spoon, guiding the bowl toward those careful hands.
Place it here, then dip in a little water. The clear dipping bowl sits between them, quiet as a promise. Nye eats steadily. Spoon meets porcelain with a gentle clink, the sound of a life that wants to stay on track. If you start a day this gently, can the rest of it stay gentle too? The stall smells of warm rice and metal benches wiped clean. Diep watches the pace, not the clock. She tracks every bite, every small nod. You're eating so well. When you're done, we'll go to school, okay? Nee nods again. A white napkin keeps the table neat. The clear dipping bowl catches a thin stripe of morning light. For a second, it looks like a small window, and she breathes easier. I remind myself to guard the tiny wins. Nee says, "I've eaten." The sentence closes the meal like a tidy bow.
The plans click into place, school first, then everything else. The door swings, the early light is still soft, the kind that lets you believe a day can follow an order you set for it. Shoes on, bag lifted, the clear bowl is rinsed, turned dry, left upside down on a tray. A small object made ready for next time. On the street, footsteps set a new rhythm. "Let's check places for rent to do business," Diep says. James answers, "Let's go." Their list is the opposite of fantasy. Large floor, straight vehicle flow, easy turn-in for trucks, short words for long needs. They walk and point and keep their voices low. Function over charm. Air moves warmer as the sun rises, shops wake, dogs stretch, brooms scratch at concrete. If the rent is right but the turn angle is wrong, what will that cost later?
I want a place that keeps us from apologizing to drivers. They pass options already seen. Some had space but no access. Some had access but no shelter. Diep shakes her head at a courtyard that narrows at the gate like a trap. James marks a corner where trucks would have to reverse twice. The roadside view is a ledger in motion. Curb widths, drain channels, utility poles. They keep moving. "See first, decide later," she says, but discipline hangs under the words. A day like this can't waste steps. A junction comes into view. 3 roads intersect, each one feeding the others. They stand where the wind lifts dust into a ribbon. "This side has 3 roads," James says. He sketches a quick map in the air. Goods could converge here. Buyers could peel off fast.
Diep sees a corrugated roof in her mind, sun shields, a partition, a small room for a ledger and tea. She also sees cost. "Leasing a place already built is more convenient," he says, even at a higher price. The counter logic is crisp: build slow and save, or spend more and start. If time is a door, which one opens better? I can work hard. I can't buy back days. They walk the edges. The wind shifts. Dust settles. Here, right is arithmetic. Capital, time, product flow. 3 roads mean approach from all sides. 3 roads also mean more surface to shield, more seam lines to leak. "We'll come back and see it again," Diep says. The words push back against hurry. The clear dipping bowl flickers up in her memory. How a small thing manages spill and keeps taste balanced. In her head, she turns that bowl the way she would turn this sight. What spills, what holds, what stays clean when the day is messy. A different lot waits 3 blocks down. One side already houses a motorbike repair corner. Tools chatter. The other side could be walled off with a simple frame. The numbers are plain, around 1.5 million VND per month for a narrower portion that's ready, or near 1 million for a larger area without a roof. Diep steps off the width, heel to toe. She faces the street and imagines trucks coming in from the main line, corn and cassava stacked, bananas tied with jute. The road will carry buyers to the right mouth if the mouth is clear. What we pay in rent, we might save in apologies and delays. She checks cleanliness, then the distance to a hydrant, then whether a single long door will swing interior or exterior. She traces the hinge in the air with 2 fingers. James measures the turn radius with his eyes and a slow pivot of his shoulder. This way a driver would need 1 correction, he says. The cheaper side asks for time and tin. The pricier side asks for faith and cash. They stand with the decision just out of reach, not because they're scared, but because precision now prevents regret later. The clear dipping bowl returns in her mind and reframes the problem. Balance is not only taste, it is flow. You hold back just enough so nothing spills, and move just enough so everything reaches the mouth at the right moment. She sees the bowl's rim as the lot's boundary, the bowl's clear sides as walls that let her watch movement without hiding problems. If she chooses the roofless space, she must build the rim first. If she chooses the ready side, she pours straight in, which keeps the taste of the day clean. I need a place that doesn't make me choose between speed and shame. They step out to the edge again. Cars whisper, a truck groans in second gear. The sun climbs. She places the options in 2 mental columns, time and cost, and watches how product lines thread through both. Collection point, she says, and the phrase decides more than it seems to. A collection point must meet sellers at the road's mouth. It must waste no steps. A higher rent can still be cheaper than losing a buyer at the curb. She knows this. Her body knows it too. Shoulders down, jaw easy. At 9:40 in, she half sees the truth she'll have to say out loud later. Saving on repairs means spending days she doesn't have. The bowl in her mind tilts. Light slides across it like a thin hand on a clock. The ready side isn't perfect. It's usable. Usable might be the only perfect they get for now. They don't sign, not yet, but the decision has grown a spine. If we move first, do we earn the road before the others do? She looks at James. He understands the look. They don't rush. They mark the spot, the contact number, the shade patterns at noon. Then they turn back toward the shack, the day still within reach. The clear dipping bowl waits on its tray at home, upside down, dry, ready. She pictures flipping it, filling it, dipping just once, and tasting how balance lets a day keep its promise. The shack holds the night's cool at noon. A metal cup sweats on the table. The clear dipping bowl sits upright, catching a small circle of light. Nye's school bag leans against the wall. Diep wipes the table, then sets her phone in the center like a scale. We need to decide, James says. Silence first. Then the lane drifts in. A bicycle bell, a dog bark, a truck changing gears. Diep breathes once and names the 2 lines in her head. Time, Cost. She moves the bowl left as if it were the roofed lot. She slides the cup right as if it were the bare space. The light keeps to the bowl. If we build, we lose days, she says. They add up, he answers.
Her thumb hovers over a contact save that morning. The landlord of the ready side. She does not press it yet. A drop crawls down the cup and falls. I am tired of delays that look like savings. They rehearse the work aloud. Posts, slab, door, hinges, weather. Then the other side. Sign, sweep, move in. The phone rings. She lets it sing once, twice. She nods at James and picks up. Miss Diep, you viewed the space. Do you need more time to think? Her voice stays even. We have a condition. What is it? 6 months, we pay on time, we keep the place clean. No new walls. In return, you fix any old leak. A pause, then the lift of a pen. 6 months, he repeats. First month today, 1 month deposit. Deal, she says. The word feels like a door opening. James writes a short list. Mop, broom.
2 ledgers. Chalk, 3 stools, a kettle, twine. Diep turns the bowl over, then upright again. Light pulls like a sign. Can a good start protect the next step? They reach the lot as the sun tilts. Paper, pen, receipt book. Next door clatters, then settles. A truck idles and leaves. James reads the lines, names, dates, amounts, 6 months in clear numbers. The landlord nods, deep signs, short strokes. James signs. The pen clicks shut. No music, no cheer, just the air changing shape. The landlord hands over a key. It is warm from his pocket. She stands at the center of the floor. Sweep first, she says. They sweep. Dust lifts. Corners clear. She opens a small window and looks toward the 3 roads. They chalk a boundary for pallets. They tape a lane for trucks. They mark where 2 stools will sit, so buyers can rest without blocking the door. James stands where a driver would stand and traces the turn with his shoe. 1 correction, he says. Evening leans in. A seller drifts by to look. When do you open? He asks. Tomorrow, Diep says. He points with his chin. Early is best. Bananas bruise less. She sets the clear bowl on the counter that is not a counter yet. The circle of light finds it as the sun lowers. A phone buzz, a name that tightens the stomach. A supplier who once insisted on cash first and changed weights later. James watches her face harden, then soften. She answers. Did you find a place? The voice asks. We did. You will need crates. I can send plastic by morning. At your price last season, she says. A pause. Fine. Then send the scale with it. Another pause. Agreed. She ends the call and meets James's eyes. Relief lifts his shoulders. They set a kettle on a single burner and make tea. Steam rises like the morning did. The bowl shines. She thinks of balance and understands the last part. The bowl is not about taste, it is about pace. You dip, so you do not drench. You move, so you do not rush. You keep the rim to avoid spill. I do not need perfect, I need steady. They leave the door open until the light thins. Then they lock it and walk home. The shack looks smaller but kinder. Nye does homework at the table, feet swinging. Diep places the key beside the bowl. The metal tag hits wood with a sure sound. What is that? Nye asks. Work, Diep says and kisses her hair. Night gathers. After dishes, Diep washes the bowl, turns it over to dry, then flips it upright and leaves it where the morning light will find it. If we hold the rim and keep the pace, what might this door become? In bed, she closes her eyes on a room that is not quite a business yet, but already feels like one. She hears a truck gear in her memory. She sees the chalk line for pallets and the lane for wheels. She saves the circle of light for morning. Tomorrow will start the same way. A small kindness, a steady hand, a clean rim, then work, then home, then sleep. The last image she keeps is simple: a clear bowl catching a ring of light, and a key that knows where it belongs. In the end, nothing flashy changed, only the pace. A clear bowl caught a ring of light, a key warmed in a palm, and 6 months on paper turned hesitation into motion. Diep chose days over delays, flow over fixes, and a clean rim over the mess that steals time. Trucks will come, bananas and cassava will breed. Home will sleep easier. Futures begin like this. Not with perfect walls, but with steady hands, lanes, and a promise kept between breakfast and dusk. If a single image moved you, tell us which one: the clear bowl, the chalk lines, or the moment the pen clicked shut. Like this video, subscribe for the next chapter, and leave a comment about the beat that caught your breath. Your voice helps this small doorway become a home. Thank you for watching and walking with Diep.